Would you go back to the office for a free lunch? The New York Times is the latest company making headlines with their failed effort to bring its employees back into the office, with many outlets reporting that over 1,300 employees are threatening to go on strike in response to the New York Times asking them to return to the office at least 3 times a week. Headlining the statement made against the executive layer reads the following: "We will continue to produce high-quality, award-winning work while reminding the company that it cannot unilaterally change our working conditions. Over 800 of the potential strikers are part of the News Guild, a journalist labor union that has been in a long drawn-out battle with the New York Times over stagnant wages." The New York Post reported, in addition to an 8% raise, the News Guild labor union is demanding a cost of living increase of 5.25% and insisting that all workers who can work remotely retain that option indefinitely and with no mandatory return to the offices before July 2023. These demands are not without merit, however, as the people at the top have been happily getting their cut of the success of the publication, even while the salaries of the people doing the actual work at the ground level seem to have frozen in time for the past few years. The News Guild labor union also blasted New York Times brass for handing out $16 million in bonuses to its top 5 executives, including publisher A.G. Sulzberger, the scion of the family that has long controlled the paper, who pulled down an extra $2.9 million in bonus, stock, and other compensation on top of his $612,000 annual salary. President Meredith Kopit Levien, meanwhile, has received a bonus package of $5.8 million in addition to her $900,000 salary. It is also being reported that an employee is claiming her compensation has not caught up with inflation, with the inflation-adjusted difference resulting in her earning $17,000 less than in 2014. This employee is Pulitzer Prize-winning reporter Emily Steele, and in her own words, started at the Times in 2014. Her salary was $128,000. Since then, she's negotiated for 2 merit-based raises. Yet adjusted for inflation, her salary is now worth about the same as it was when she started in 2014. And since contract negotiations began in 2020, her salary is worth more than $17,000 less. The New York Times has reportedly not done any pay adjustments since 2020, a now over 2-year period where we have witnessed the highest rates of inflation since the 1970s. It is important to realize that the New York Times is not just another newspaper with dwindling publication numbers. No. The 170-year-old newspaper is a modern media juggernaut with over 9 million subscribers, 2,000 staff, and is publicly traded with a market cap of over $5 billion. This is a figure that's over 2.5 times greater than in 2014 when the aforementioned reporter first joined them. As a tone-deaf consolation prize, the New York Times is offering branded lunchboxes to its employees in an attempt to bring them back to the office. In a memo obtained by the press, someone at the executive level wrote the following: "Our hope is they will be a connection point that brings together all of our colleagues around a common theme, lunchtime. While I certainly agree with the importance of lunchtime, I don't think having lunch provided by my employer would outweigh the massive benefits of me working from the comfort of my own home. And it's safe to say that at least 1,300 people working at the New York Times agree with me." It doesn't make sense to degrade the working conditions, productivity, and motivation of the people who are already mad at you for letting their purchasing power wither away with time, especially in the past 2 years where food and energy prices have gone up significantly and housing prices have skyrocketed without any correction downward. The world has enough crap going on to keep the staff at the New York Times busy for a very long time. They should be compensated fairly for their efforts, lest the intent is for someone else to do so. That's it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. Like and subscribe if you did. And until next time, write your essays at home or at a coffee shop.